Hey, Dustin Rhodes here, author of Dumb Tax. We're going to go over one more close here, right? We talked about cleaners corners last time. I want to think about it. This time we're going to go over a close that is really about the price shopper, right? The people that say, hey, I'm just starting the process, or hey, you're the first three estimates. As annoying as we hear and understand that to be salespeople, we got to realize that obviously removing that objection starts in the very beginning, right? So we're going to make sure we get some things out, talk about the industry, why we're different, other things into that nature. But let's really get on the word track real quick, because if you're to this point at the end of it, we know we've checked our boxes, right? We know we've gotten our commitments. We've talked about the industry, how many numbers doing the calls a problem, right? The type of people that want to do it right the first time or not touch it at all. So with that said, let's have at it, right? So here we go, Dustin. Hey, just like we said earlier, you're the first of three estimates. Or we're just starting the process. As we said, you're a great guy, best sales guy I ever met, right? Okay, so first off, remember, listen, acknowledge, confirm, respond. So great, guys. Hey, completely understand. Sounds like to me we're really close. The only reason we're not moving forward is the fact that you're just starting the process. We're on the first three estimates. Is that correct? Yes. Perfect, guys. Thanks so much for sharing that. Sounds like to me basically we're really close and you're just quite not comfortable yet, right? So cool. So let me ask you, seeing how that's based, if I called you next, let's say Tuesday at 2 o'clock, do you think you'll have all your estimates in by then? Yep. So if I call you then, is there any information you want else about the company? Anything to the nature that we haven't shared with you? No. So it sounds like to me everything's a fit. And correct me if I'm wrong, because we've gone over a lot of things, right? We've gone over the fact that we know it needs to be completed. We know some of the unique things we talked about in the inspection. We know how basically you only wanted one number to call if there's a problem. So can I ask you a question? Is there anything that we didn't share with you today that you're still looking for more information? No, you're pretty satisfied with everything? Okay. So is there anything about the warranty, the installation superiority, the way we're putting the design, colors, choices, details? No? Okay, so it sounds like to me then, really, again, it's really just trying to have a basic comparison, right? Cool, and correct me if I'm wrong, if everything seemed to be a fit, you love the company, you love the product, you love the warranty, there was really nothing else you're looking for more information on, really I think what you're trying to find, if you nicely told me, is the same thing at a cheaper price somewhere else. Would you agree with that? Okay, so yeah, okay, so really that's what you're looking for is a cheaper price for the same thing and see if you can find that somewhere else. Would that be safe to say? Okay, great. So completely appreciate that, right? Now, earlier, remember we kind of talked about this isn't like a finished good, right? This isn't like going out and buying a couch, a television, or a love seat. This is really an unfinished good, meaning that the things that have to come into play, like literally the measurement of the product, the installation, the where it goes, the shipping, all that capacity, if one of the things we're missing we talked about earlier, it's not going to make the project go the right way, right? Now, knowing that really price is really the reason why we're trying to consider getting this done and looking for another object or another objective or another company to see if they can provide that for you. Remember earlier we shared a couple stats with you, right? We shared that basically 96% of all contractors fail in their first 2 years, right? Remember, that's 9.6 out of 10 people, right? 10.7 million complaints just last year alone with the Better Business Bureau based on their modeling industry. We asked if you knew what the most complained about industry in the Better Business Bureau was, and that was home remodeling. So if you think about that, guys, the other thing they said is that out of $538 billion spent, remember, that's a big sample size, right? Basically 54%, which is 290 billion of that 380 billion, were basically people that were doing projects the first time, those excited homeowners. Remember the $240 million or billion dollars? So 240 billion, which is 46% of that, were people that were spending the money to redo it the second time, right? So the most expensive one is not the one you pay for once, but it's the one you had to pay for twice. So as you look at it, making a mistake is almost like flipping a coin. And the scariest one, the one we're kind of addressing, taking a look at trying to find the same thing cheaper somewhere else, is they said 80% of people taking the cheapest bid had big problems getting the job completed, right? So not only 80%, but 46% of people that did it within 2 years are spending money to do it twice again. Come on, level with me. How really important is the other estimates? I think what you're really trying to share with me is you're just trying to get the best value for your dollar. Is that correct? Yeah, so really it's not about Tuesday at 2. It's not even about the other estimates. It's about making sure you feel like you got the best value for your dollar. Would you agree with that? Well, let me ask you a question. If I could do my absolute best for you guys, right, and I could absolutely knock your socks off and help you make this thing get more affordable, knowing you're 100% confident with me and what we're doing for you on the project, knowing that basically that the system is what you wanted and need when it comes time, knowing you love all the colors and choices. So if we can help you with the money, and make that make sense and make it affordable, there's no reason you couldn't give me a yes or no today, right? So let me just ask you again. If I make something that makes sense financially, I can show you a yes, or I can show you a no, it's affordable. Really, that's the only reason we couldn't earn your business today. Is that fair enough? Yeah, okay. So it's really not about the other estimates, but let me make sure I can do my absolute best for you, and let's go from there, right? And then I'm going to get in there, basically figure out my discounts, and I'm going to present it just like I'm going to on my last one, right? But I have to make sure I set that up. So time out. If I'm basically trying to remove the objection, at the end, I'm dead, right? I have to remind them of what we covered earlier, and I got to tie that knot and bring it back into play so I know I've removed that objection. So after I come at them with my cost savings program or my initial visit discount, now I'm saying, okay, guys, I know you're going to love what they got to show you, right? Remember, you said yes or no today, correct? Because remember, every time we go to throw a new offer, we got a call for action again, same way as we pre-closed and said anything besides making the money work, whether it be the monthly investment or the overall investments to keep us moving forward today, right? That's it, nothing else, right? So the same thing happens when I get my second close here. Sounds like to me, I really long to make the money work here. And this last offer I show you, the best one I'm going to do, you can give me a yes or no today, right? So as that happens, game over, right? So with that, remember, we got to remind them of what we covered earlier. We got to talk about the industry stats. We got to remind them that if the only thing they're looking for is a cheaper price somewhere else, which is all the price shoppers doing, is making sure they get the best value for their dollar. And if they've already found their car keys, there's nothing else to look for, that's yours to lose. Again, it's a little bit of words, but you got to remember it, right? Listen, acknowledge, confirm, respond, make it happen. We'll see you guys on the board. Hopefully this helped, right? So again, isolate. Sounds like to me the only reason we're not moving forward, it sounds like we're real close. The only reason we're not moving forward is the fact that you're just starting the process, or basically you're on the first of 3 estimates. So I don't want to get defensive. I don't want to get uptight. We got to relax, calm, cool, stay down, right? After you isolate it, take them back down the train. Make sure, again, that you got your need commitment. I got my trust commitment. I got my value, or I got my resolution commitment. I got my value commitment, right? Because now I'm getting ready to give to get. But I got to make sure they realize that everything's been lifted. There's nothing else to solve. All right, guys. With that said, 8 minutes to probably 80 grand. This is going to add back into your pocket for the year, $80,000 probably in income. And don't be on the be-back bus, because you will be broke. And the second you leave, if you, the representative, did what you needed to do and gave them all the tools and resources they need to be successful, don't let someone else walk in behind you with a cheaper price that's less valuable. Take your commission, right? So keep your fee for service in your pocket where it belongs. Don't let that be stolen. All right, guys, we'll see you on the board. Remember, this is a great close to take advantage of. I'm just starting the process, or basically you're the first of 3 estimates, right? You'll find at the end of it, if I did my job in the beginning, this is just a stall, or there's fear and anxiety on where we need to remove that close. All right, guys, with that said, again, Dustin Rose, Cleaner's Corner. We'll see you on the board, right? Who dey? Nobody. See you.